This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 19 of the Animanicast.
Hey, mister, are you about to drag our brother off to a bleak nether realm of despair where the future is nothing but an endless sea of anguish and horrible misery?
Yeah.
We want to go too!
And welcome to the Animanicast. We are a podcast that is dedicated to the animated television series Animaniacs. Each and every week we rewatch an episode and we discuss the cultural references and gags. We share our memories of first watching the episode, and in the end, we give each and every episode a Water Tower rating. I am Joey, and joining me once again are my co-hosts, Nathan.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
We're good.
Okay.
And Kelly.
Hello.
And today we are talking about an episode that is, I would say, it's a very funny episode.
Yes.
For the most part, I would say.
Yes.
And it's Meatballs or Consequences, and also a moving experience. Nathan, when was this episode first premiered?
Okay, Joey, this episode premiered on October 7th of 1993.
Oh, very
Yes,
cool.
That's
Very
correct.
Cool. Excellent. Well, let's see. What do you guys think about this episode? Meatballs or Consequences in a Moving Experience. Nathan, let's start with you. What do
I'll
you think?
take the meatballs.
You'll take the meatballs.
Meatballs are consequences.
Okay. And Kelly, what about you?
I love it.
You love it. All right. Well, like we said, we have two segments in here. One of which I think is a really, really fun, exciting segment, and the other one I could kind of take it or leave it. You know,
Yeah.
it was not bad.
Mhm.
It was good. We'll get more into that in a little
We'll tell
bit.
you which one's which in a little bit.
I think people can guess. Okay, so before we talk about segment one, there is the variant verse for this episode is "Where's Lon Chaney?"
Where's Lon Chaney?
And it's Wacko as the Hunchback of Notre Dame
Mhm.
asking, "Where's Lon Chaney?" Did you get that reference, Nathan,
No.
before?
So I was like, I don't know where he is because I don't know who he is, first of all.
Did you have any idea who Lon Chaney was, Kelly, before this
Yes.
episode? Good. At least somebody does. So the Hunchback of Notre Dame was originally played by Lon Chaney in 1923. Do you have, Kelly? I'm going to quiz you right now. Can you name me one other famous Lon Chaney character that he played? Ooh.
I want to say.
She's looking it up.
I want to say Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking too. So, Phantom of the Opera, yeah, he was kind of the man of 1,000 faces, was what he was called. I've seen some biographies on him, and just on the Biography channel. Is that even a channel anymore? The Biography channel?
I
Anyway,
don't think so.
I think you're making things up again.
it was a channel. It's called Bio. Anyway,
Okay.
no, but I saw the thing. He had like a makeup kit, and he could like open it up and make himself look like anything. So, kind of like the original special effects artist.
Clayface.
Sort of, yeah. Kind of like Clayface and Batman.
There we go. Now you're speaking my language.
There we go. Yes. Unfortunately, yeah. But unlike Clayface, he didn't fall into like a vat of chemicals or his makeup didn't change him into a
something.
guy. Yes. Think of like him as the human Clayface that wasn't clay. Does that make sense to you now, Nathan?
Yeah. I think
Okay, good. So there you go. So that is Lon Chaney. So that's why Wacko is dressed up like the Hunchback right there. There we go. Let's move on to segment one.
Hello, listener. This is Jess Harnell, the voice of Wacko and Animaniacs, and you're listening to Animanicast, which is the best thing you could possibly listen to, especially if you're not wearing pants. I'd love to go on talking to you, but I can't because I've got a potty emergency. See you later.
Okay, the first segment is called Meatballs or Consequences. It was written by John McCann and directed by Greg Reyna. Kelly, what can you tell us about this cartoon? What happens in Meatballs or Consequences?
Well, Wacko is in a Swedish meatball eating contest, which immediately made me remember my trip to IKEA last week because they've got the best meatballs. But he's in a Swedish meatball eating contest, and he says, "Oh, if I eat one more meatball, I'm going to die." And Death is actually there and lurking in the corner and says, "Yeah, you actually will." So he eats the meatball, and Death appears and says, "I'm going to, take you away. You're dead now. You're kaput." And Yakko and Dot say, "No, we want to be together. Don't separate us. We love each other." And then they begin to annoy him endlessly, and they make babies appear out of nowhere, and then he turns them into dust, and then they say one of my favorite phrases ever:
Yes.
"How Spielbergian."
Yes. Now, before we go any further, is that Spielbergian? It was glowing, is that why it was Spielbergian?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it's like it's the special effects.
Yeah,
so
the special effects make it Spielbergian, right?
Visual flash of light.
He's had sand in movies, so there we go.
So a hashtag was born.
How Spielbergian.
And so then they go and Death says that if they play a game against him and win, then they can all stay together, and if they lose, then he's gonna take Wacko. And so they play a game of checkers and cheat.
Yes.
And so he says, "Well, since you won, you can stay together, but here, wahaha." And then they continue to annoy him and call him Dadu, and it's funny. It's one of my favorites because there's also another Spielberg reference at the very end of the episode. So 2 Spielberg references, 1 cartoon. I love it.
Very cool. In fact, I even would say there's almost 3 Spielberg references in this particular one, because at the beginning of the episode, when I think they're in Sweden land. Is that what the thing is? It was almost like it was a fair, but I think it was like Sweden land, like Disneyland or something like that. And everyone's dressed up in their little Swedish or Renaissance kind of outfits for some reason. But anyway, the Spielberg reference that kind of got to me was the eating the meatballs in the first place reminded me of Marion and in that drinking contest in Nepal. And I know there's other kind of references to eating contests that, like, you do this, then I do
can't
that.
Eat another bite. Kind of thing.
Exactly.
I couldn't possibly.
But this one was very much like I take a shot, you take a shot kind of a contest. And so for that reason, I just brought up Raiders of the Lost Ark to me.
Story.
With that, especially because the person that Wacko was playing against was enormously fat, and the person in Raiders of the Lost Ark is pretty big as well. I don't know if that person is a girl or a guy, actually, now that I think about it. Do you know, Kelly? Do you know? You know the person?
I think it's a guy.
I think it's a guy. I always thought I kind of thought it might have been a woman when I was a kid, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I remember having that discussion before.
As a kid. Like, we were like, just look at it and go, is that a girl or a guy? Like, we don't know.
I think we decided it probably was a guy.
Yes, probably. But anyway. So yes, a very funny episode. Nathan, Kelly, what are some of your favorite moments in this particular episode?
Ooh, I have one.
Go, Kelly.
Besides House Spielbergian.
Yes.
I've always loved when they go, all is strange and vague. Are we dead or is this Ohio?
Yes.
All is strange and vague.
Are we dead?
Or is this Ohio?
You're not dead, but if you must stay with your brother, then Appendix 3 contains a clause allowing the carrier, that's me, to play you in the life or death game of chess.
Chess is unknown to us. We prefer checkers.
Yes, and yeah, there's a few different things going on there with references. They're of course facing two different directions. This is in reference to Ingmar Bergman's film Persona from 1966, who did this kind of camera angle thing with one person talking forward, the other person going to the side. And of course, the entire episode was a reference to Ingmar Bergman's movie The Seventh Seal, which starred, I'm forgetting his name. Oh, Max von Sydow, who plays Lor Santeca in The Force Awakens.
Oh, okay.
Without the Jedi, there can be no balance in the Force.
Well, because of you, now we have a chance. The General's been after this for a long time.
The General? To me, she is royalty.
I knew that.
Yeah, and he plays the Exorcist, too.
I'll show you the dark side.
That the power of Christ compels you!
I don't think, we were talking before the show, none of us have actually seen The Seventh Seal. I took the time to invest 2 minutes online to watch the trailer, which gave me kind of like, okay, good. It was 2 minutes of art for me.
I mean, I've seen Bogus Journey, so that's
true. That's true. Yeah, in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, they do something very similar. Of course, in The Seventh Seal, Max von Sydow is playing chess with the Grim Reaper or Death for his life. Mm-hmm. And in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, I think they say, it's been years since I've seen the movie, but I'm pretty sure they say that we don't know how to play chess or something like that, or
J7.
Hit. A hit. You have sunk my battleship.
Excellent! Yeah!
They have to choose the game.
I think they can choose what game they want.
That's it. They have to choose the game.
They say chess is unknown to us. We prefer checkers.
Oh, yeah. I love the Animaniacs.
Yes.
Warner Brothers.
Which, by the way, checkers is still hard. I remember trying to play that with my uncle as a kid, and just, he would not show any mercy and just, beat me each time.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at checkers. Well, yes. I'm actually, I don't even know how to play chess. Nathan knows how to play chess.
Yeah.
It's
easy.
Well, I feel really dumb because kids at my school...
You just have to know how the pieces move, and then you just randomly move them.
Randomly? You just see what happens.
All you do is take down the other person's king.
Oh.
It's that simple.
Oh. Just, knock it over?
Yeah.
Just, reach over and just
knock it over?
If
the other person's king falls over, you win.
What if it just blow really hard?
Yeah, I think that works, too.
There you go.
A blowing contest.
Well, then it sounds like fun. So I'm into chess now. Okay, well, anyway. So some nice artsy film references right there with Ingmar Bergman. So I'm going to have to check those out. And of course, we have Dot and Yakko start kind of doing this kind of shadow boxing kind of thing with one another, which again is apparently another reference to things that the Marx Brothers would do, specifically Chico and Harpo would kind of do it every now and then to get into little fake fights. So references right there, references to famous people, Merv Griffin, who could be in death in that land right now because he is dead now.
Yeah, that's depressing.
And Crispin Glover, of course, who was Crispin Glover, which I always love how he said that. But he plays George McFly in the original Back to the Future.
Yeah, he was also the creepy guy in Charlie's Angels.
That's true.
Creepy skinny guy.
That's kind of another loosely phrased Spielberg reference.
Oh, what's that? Oh, of course.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, of course. Yes,
Spielberg. He was executive producer.
There you go. Duh. I see. I was thinking Charlie's Angels. I already moved on to Crispin Glover's films.
Spielberg.
When he was playing that guy in Charlie's Angels, he was trying to be like Spielberg.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
No one can be like Spielberg.
Yeah, no.
There can be only one.
There can be only one. Now we're doing Highlander references too. This is weird. Okay, so
very strange.
We're all over the place.
And of course, the Death is holding up Robert's Rules of Death, which I looked at that and I had no idea why it's called Robert's Rules of Death. But I guess there's a Robert's Rules of Order, which is a kind of a book about talking about parliamentary etiquette, which I had no idea what that was. before.
I did. I used to work at a bookstore.
Well, there you go. Does it just talk about manners, or what does it talk about?
Actually, I always thought it was about like business meetings and how to kind of run meetings. Honestly,
Gotcha.
I never read it, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. If it says in the reference guide right here, it says parliamentary order, so I guess that makes sense right there.
I really liked how everyone was speaking Swedish.
Yes.
All the voices at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, all the voice actors doing the thing. I also like the part where he said that he has to. There's a Swedish guy in the crowd with really weird glasses on who says,
"Better go! Gotta help the wife export some iron ore."
Obviously that must be one of Sweden's only exports.
That and Volvos.
I just had flashbacks to looking, like having to do reports on different countries as a kid, and they always give you that almanac, and you have to like, look, what are its exports? What are the things? So apparently Sweden, iron ore. I learned something today.
Yeah, there's someone betting their Volvo on.
Yes.
Come on, Sven, you can do it. I bet my Volvo on you.
No IKEA jokes in this one though. So
too early.
Now the whole flipping of the chessboard around.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me.
Well, you were actually no chess or checkers.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying like they flipped it around twice, so they could have just won the game without cheating.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why they even told them the move to make.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Whatever you're going to say though.
Well, anyway, that was kind of I think a joke I had seen in some old cartoon. I just don't know what it was. I'm assuming it's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon or something like that. Yeah, but it was cool. That was a cute.
I was thinking Princess Bride, but
yes, it had definitely elements of the Princess Bride as well.
Inconceivable.
You've given everything away. I know where the poison is.
Then make your choice.
I will, and I choose. What in the world can that be?
What? Where? I don't see anything.
Oh, well, I could have sworn I saw something. No matter.
What's so funny?
I'll tell you in a minute.
What were some other moments that we just thought were kind of cute? I personally just love the voice of Death. Yeah. And I loved them calling him Daddy and just or Yakko is going Daddy.
That means we'll all be like a family.
Can we call you Dadu?
Hey, Pop, can we stay up past 10? Can we watch the adult channel?
Hello, nurse.
Don't call me Dadu, and try and maintain the proper attitude of fear and respect due to me by regulations. At least tremble a little.
Oh, come on, lighten up, Daddy. Take us for a pony ride.
Pony ride, pony ride, pony ride.
Just trying to be as annoying as possible.
Yes.
I liked his expressions too. I thought I liked the animation in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And his eyes changed color a few times too, depending on what was going on with him. He just kind of had this, he kind of looked like a skeleton, but almost looked like Skeletor as well, or something.
I thought it was just me.
No,
I saw that.
He kind of looked like specifically Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe movie. In fact, not even necessarily the cartoon, but yes, I was thinking Skeletor actually the second time I was watching it. But it's a very cute episode. Lots of great gags. Is there any other quick jokes that you guys could think of that really kind of stood out?
They referenced Spielberg again at the end, like I said.
Hey, were you guys serious about keeping us all together?
There's more to life than just living, Wacko. There's loyalty, courage, and the bonds of love that bind a family together.
That's right. It's not death we should fear, but a life poorly lived. For nothing is worse than squandering this most precious gift of our Creator. Spielberg eats this stuff up.
You're just kissing up to the boss.
Yeah, because they were talking about their creator.
Yes.
And then they said Spielberg eats this stuff up. And I was like, I love it.
Yeah, overall a very good episode. It was just a really cute, really seeing the Animaniacs go into a situation where it seems dire and, the bad guy thinks that they won, now you are all dead. And they go, okay, let's
you
turn
are all
this.
now living impaired.
And he puts kaput on their head.
Yeah.
And I just like how they just go, all right, we'll go with this.
Okay.
We'll figure our way out, and we're going to be extra annoying now. You thought we were annoying before, but now we're really going to be annoying.
Yeah.
And we're really going to... We love to be with you, you know. So
That's the best thing.
I thought that was cute.
I love how bored Wacko gets with Death.
What's Death like, Wacko?
Pretty boring. I've already hummed all the songs I know.
Yeah, he just kind of stares. I just love how Yakko and Dot are just kind of just moving around, acting crazy. And I guess since Wacko not only is he very full still, but he's dead, so he just can't really move that much. But he's still funny.
Plus, Jess Harnell would just have to do so much if he was doing Death and Wacko kind of thing.
Oh, he was doing Death's voice too?
Yeah,
Oh.
So that's why he's such
cool.
a...
Well, there you go.
I was wondering why. I was like, why is Wacko not talking more? And who is doing Death? Because he's doing great.
That's cool. Oh, there you go. Well, very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to our kind of, I guess you could say, middle little joining part thing, which was Dot's Poetry Corner. So this is our first Dot's Poetry Corner of going through the series. And she's talking about Little Miss Tuffet and what a big tuffet she had. And, don't feel, you'd feel, if you have bad self-esteem, just sit next to her and you'll be like, well, I don't feel that bad right now because she got a big tuffet. In other words, her butt is big.
Yes.
and Dot shows that off by blowing up her butt at one point, someone with their cartoon powers and everything. So a cute little Dot's Poetry Corner.
Yeah, it was a nice little filler.
What do you guys think about Dot's Poetry Corner in general? I mean, I know there's quite a few of them throughout the series. Do you like these segments or not? Or what do you think?
Yeah, they're usually okay.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I always feel like snapping at the end of it.
I think we're ready to move on to our third. I guess you could say third, although it's kind of our second. Well, whatever it is our last segment of this episode.
Yes.
So our second segment is called A Moving Experience. And A Moving Experience was written by Peter Hastings, and it was directed by Rusty Mills and Dave Marshall. Nathan, what can you tell us? What goes on in this cartoon?
Well, this cartoon features the Hip Hippos. They're in the jungle, but they realize they're not as hip as the hippos should be, I guess.
Yeah.
They're falling behind in the trends, so they're going to move to the city. There's also someone watching them, Gina Embryo.
Mm-hmm.
She's studying the hippos, and she doesn't want them to move the city, so she convinces them to move back to the jungle. Their jungle home is the perfect place to live. They agree. They take their jungle home to the city, and that's the episode, basically.
Basically, yeah. So, in some ways, this is our first. Well, it's not our first introduction to the Hip Hippos. We saw them before when they were made quit.
They're already in the city in the other episode.
Yes.
So this is like a prequel.
This is our prequel to the Hip Hippos.
Yes.
Overall, what do it's a cute cartoon. I'm never a huge fan of the Hip Hippos, but Nathan, what did you think about this cartoon?
I enjoyed it. I think I liked it more than the other one, even though the other one had song to it. I think I liked the story more on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But joke wise, there was some funny jokes, but it's.
I thought that Gina Embryo was pretty funny. I thought
her character. Like, I want to see her again.
Yeah, she was just like, okay, there's nothing you like here. Goodbye, go away, and just trying to push them out the door each time. Like, go back to the jungle. There's nothing in the city.
Sorry, the city's all full. Nothing available. Go back where you came from, the jungle. That's where you should live. Goodbye. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Goodbye then.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cute.
She's a parody of Joan Embry.
Yeah, Joan Embry from the San Diego Zoo. Do you remember seeing Joan Embry on The Tonight Show when you were a kid at all, Kelly?
No.
I stayed up.
I wasn't allowed to stay up that late.
I stayed up late sometimes, and I saw Johnny Carson and Joan Embry every now and then. So, and Joan Embry I always thought was like cool because it was just this blonde woman who'd come out with all these awesome animals. And I wouldn't see her that often, but I always liked seeing those animal segments on. I still do. Like whenever there's like Conan O'Brien or whomever I'm watching, if I know their animal is going to be on the show, I'm like, oh, I'm staying tuned for this one because these are always good.
Yeah, just like bloopers. I just like watching bloopers.
Yeah, you never know what the animal's going to do. So Gina Embryo, a funny character. Kelly, what did you think? Anything that stands out that you liked about this Hip Hippos cartoon?
Nothing that really stood out. I did like the character of Jean Embryo.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her voice,
mm-hmm.
and she was a very dynamic character. And I thought it was really neat when they went through, and I guess they were flying overhead and pointing out some of the landmarks in the city, because kids who hadn't been to New York wouldn't know that those places were there. But of course, then they also saw the World Trade Centers, which at the time of the cartoon was there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it was like 8 years later, when they were destroyed. But it gives another little like historical reference to the buildings there, and it's kids can learn a little bit about it. What is that, Mommy? And then they find out what happened. And, the Guggenheim Museum, I think, was pointed out too, which is a really significant architectural styled building.
Yes.
And I thought there were 3 that they mentioned. I can't remember the other one, but I like that. I as I've said before, I like anything that's will spark some interest in kids watching. It's like, oh, I heard that on the Animaniacs. Guggenheim. I know what that is now.
Yes. That was the World Trade Center was the World Trend Center.
Mm-hmm. It was sunglasses
That's
on
right.
it.
Yeah. And then of course
I saw the sunglasses. I was watching it on my phone, so I didn't hear it so well.
And then the Guggenheim was the Guggen Hip. Okay. And then the third thing was the Banana Republic.
And they said Banana Republican.
Yes, the Banana Republican.
I did hear that. I thought they actually said Guggenheim. That's what I get for trying to watch it on my phone. But
well, one reference that was another kind of weird little play on words was they're drinking Pellegrino, or actually not Pellegrino water, but Pellegringo water. So I guess a kind of a slipping the word gringo into the water thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I drink too much of Pellegringo water. I'm too white.
I don't know how they get all this money.
Well, I thought it is kind of funny that Joan Embry wants to put them back in their natural habitat of the jungle, but the fact is their natural habitat is completely like they have this huge resort.
Yeah, they're playing badminton or whatever at the beginning, or tennis.
Yes, this is much more natural. Go back into that the jungle. But yeah, I did like and little things like the trashy neighbors were the rhinos who were just kind of like in their trailer right outside their thing. So I could see it just kind of had cute little things. Of course, it did have a cameo in it as well.
Yeah.
Rita and Runt at one point run through.
Which I thought was like, oh, the Animaniacs.
Exactly. I thought I heard the music of the Animaniacs, but and then I looked up and I saw a foot that wasn't Dot's foot or anything like that. It was Rita. So yes, Rita and Runt go into different music, but still do have cameo.
They're there. Mindy and Buttons were in the first cartoon too.
That's true.
Actually,
we forgot Mindy and Buttons cameo.
The very beginning, you could see them. But...
So we had some cameos in this the full thing, which is always good to see. They're always going to be in there in these cartoons. So overall, cute Hip Hippos cartoon.
Yeah.
Nothing bad about it, but nothing much more to say about it.
Yeah. I think I like the scene where she became a retailer.
Yeah.
That was
kind of pushing the retailer.
Yeah.
Is that what they call them? Retailers?
I don't know.
No, they're not called retailers. They're
a retailer works at a retail shop.
This is a home realtor, Nathan.
Realtor. A real Taylor.
Sure. Okay. So yes. Yeah, that was cute. But anyway. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and I guess with that, we got to go to our water tower rating. So, Nathan, let's start with you first. What would you give this episode out of 5 water towers?
I'm going to go with, I'll say 3.5.
3.5. Why is that?
I really enjoyed the Meatballs and Consequences. That pretty much carries the whole episode, I felt like. The Hip Hippos was not bad, and the Dot's poetry wasn't bad. I didn't find it like funny, but Meatballs and Consequences just hilarious, and then the rest was watchable for sure.
All right. I like big tuffets and I cannot lie. No,
hey, there you go. If she's saying that instead, no.
Okay, and Kelly, what about you?
5 water towers. Because 2 Spielberg references, and it's funny. I liked like I said, I liked the animation. I liked the script was great. Lots of funny jokes, and I just loved it. It's always been one of my favorites. Very
cool. And excuse me, I'm gonna go with 4, just because I really did love Meatballs or Consequences. Saw it quite a few times, and it still made me laugh each and every time. There's quite a few gags that we didn't even get to that are just really funny. And yeah, like Kelly said, there's lots of cool Spielberg references as well. The Hip Hippos, if I were to grade the entire episode, I would say, yeah, that kind of put down, like, that's what kept it from being a 5-star.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
It's like a 3 hippos, or I don't know. What would you give just the hippos?
If I were just to grade the episode, if it was just the Hip Hippos, 2.5.
Okay, so that's probably bad.
Yeah, so but I'll give it 4 just because Meatballs or Consequences was so good that the Hip Hippos couldn't really hurt the average that much. So with that, let's go ahead and go to our announcer and our poll results from last week.
It's time again for the Animanicast Twitter poll results. I am coming to you live from Paincock Palace, where I am enjoying a lovely dinner. Excuse me there, sir. What is it you are enjoying? Surprise. Oh, I wonder what the surprise is. Oh, well, I think I'll just stick to my soup. I love it. Listeners were asked, which of these is your favorite tower escape? #Animanicast poll. With 25%, listeners said the clown hot air balloon. 32% said it was floating in a bubble. But 43% said their favorite was shot out of a cannon. Kaboom! So there you have it. I'll see you next week with the results of this week's poll. But right now it's time for the final course. I hear it's real brain food. I can't wait. So long!
Okay, well, that is interesting. I hope the announcer's having fun over there, having dinner.
Sounds enjoyable, I guess.
Now, what the heck was going on right there? Did you fill up the plane with gas, or what?
I plead the fifth.
I thought you liked the announcer, Nathan.
Hey, I love the announcer, but I'm the only hope to take down the announcer.
Okay, you just have you have like
it's a very
you have a complex relationship with this guy.
Yeah, but okay. I love him. I love him to death.
Literally. Oh no. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go over what we thought was the best tower escape: shot out of a cannon, floating in a bubble, or the clown hot air balloon. Nathan, what do you think?
I voted for shooting out of a cannon.
Why do you like that?
Oh, I just love the music and the costumes and everything.
Okay. And Kelly, what about you?
I like the clown balloon.
Okay. Why do you like the clown balloon?
I just thought it was fun. It was cute and colorful and just like interesting to watch.
Yeah. I'm going to go with clown hot air balloon as well. And for the reason, well, kind of what Kelly said, it was kind of cool to see. I just like the animation, how it kind of pops out, and I thought that looked cool. And I just think Wacko, even though he is very scared of clowns, as we'll see later, he's so happy. He gets that little fan out and blows it. It just looks like they all look so happy in that general one, and has kind of a balance, I think, of the two. Shot out of cannon's nice and exciting. The bubble is nice and relaxing, and this one is kind of exciting and kind of relaxing at the same time. So There you go. the best of both worlds for me. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the poll question for this week. We have seen 4 different Pinky and the Brain cartoons so far in our run. So we're going to say, what is your favorite Pinky and the Brain cartoon so far? Or at least of these 4.
Yeah.
And the choices are Win Big, Where Rodents Dare, Battle for the Planet, and Pavlov's Mice. So go ahead and head over to twitter.com/Animaniacast or simply search for the hashtag Animanicast poll and you will be able to make your voice heard. Okay, should be an interesting poll. Well, let's go ahead and get right over to some contact information right now so people can harass you online. So Nathan, let's start with you. Where could people go? Not to harass you, of course, but just say hi.
Stop harassing me, guys. Come on.
They never even started, but
yeah, but still, come on, guys. It's Boba Fett. It's pronounced Boba Fett. It's spelled Jangoft or Jangoft.
So once again, spelled
Twitter.
Yes. So spelled Django.
Jangoft. Yes,
but pronounced Boba Fett.
Yeah, you got to pronounce it Boba Fett.
Oh, you have? Is that like Swedish writing? Is that what that's going on?
Maybe, I don't know.
It feels like IKEA or something.
I got some chaliced Boba Fett thing.
It's true
for a reason.
You know, you could paint that Boba Fett chalice and make it look like Jango Fett, and that way you could still say
it's a
good
Jango
idea.
Fett. I might do that.
Okay, so there
we'll find out next week.
Be a lot less confusing. And Kelly, what about you?
I can be reached at Yoda Princess at Twitter, YODAPRNCSS, or Kelly, KELLY, at BigShinyRobot.com.
Okay, and of course we are a proud member of the RetroZap family, so you can get in contact with us by simply emailing us, Animanicast@RetroZap.com, and we're also on Facebook and on Twitter, and speaking of, all the RetroZap things, if you go to RetroZap.com/Animanicast, you can see a full listing of all the different episodes that we've done. Pretty cool, huh, Nathan?
I like that.
And plus, while you're there, if you want to read some stuff, you can read some articles by some of our cool writers that we have. Plus, there's a lot of fantastic podcasts on the podcast network, such as Brews and Blasters, Skywalking Through Neverland. We have Techno Retro Dads, Blob of the Hut. The list goes on and on and on, and I don't have enough time to read them all. So there we go. So check it out at retrozap.com. And with that, I think we're all ready to wrap up this week's episode.
Yeah. Should they join us for next week?
Yes.
Let's
tell them what's going on next week. Join us next week for episode 20, which is... this is going to be a little weird for you listeners out there. If you're watching on Netflix, you're going to skip to episode 21, because the true episode 20 is Hearts of Twilight and the Boys. Yes. Hearts of Twilight is next week, so make sure
I love Hearts of Twilight.
So there you go. So, again, Netflix user, this is your disclaimer. You skip to episode 21, which is truly episode 20 in the original run.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, it was, we had a big...
Just watch the next 2 episodes and wait 2 weeks and listen to both of them in a row.
Yeah, be ready. Just watch. In fact, you can watch every Animaniacs episode. We're not going to restrict you. So just watch all the Animaniacs episodes. Have fun with that. Well, with that, for Nathan and Kelly, this is Joey saying good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
This podcast is not endorsed by Warner Brothers or Amblin Entertainment and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Animaniacs, the Warner Brothers logo, all names, pictures, and sounds of the Animaniacs characters or any other Animaniacs-related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Warner Brothers, Amblin Entertainment, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Animanicast unless otherwise indicated.
We accept.
To accept is to yield.
To yield is to allow oncoming traffic the right of way.
Your breath is like the breeze off a landfill.
Food particles are wedged between your teeth.